Bad Homburg vor der Höhe is the district town of the Hochtaunuskreis, Hesse, Germany, on the southern slope of the Taunus, bordering among others Frankfurt im Main and Oberursel. Bad Homburg is part of the Frankfurt Rhein-Main urban area. The town's formal name is Bad Homburg vor der Höhe to distinguish it from other places of the same name, abbreviated as Bad Homburg v.D. Höhe. It is best known for its medically used mineral waters and spa, and for its casino. Today, Bad Homburg is again one of the wealthiest towns in Germany. As of 2004, the town's marketing slogan is Champagne Luft und Tradition. History. Middle Ages origins. Local tradition holds that Bad Homburg's documented history began with the mention of the Villa Tiedenheim in the Lorsch Codex, connected with the year 782. This Villa Tiedenheim was equated with the old town, called Dietigheim. This connection is also reflected in street names. Local historian Rudiger Kurth doubted these traditional stories based on his study of written sources and local factors. In 2002, Kurth initiated archaeological digs by the University of Frankfurt under the leadership of Professor Joachim Henning. The excavations showed that there was no evidence of settlement between the beginning of the Christian era and the 13th century. It appears that the historical record which makes mention of Wertwin von Hohenberg as Homburg's founder, as a documentary witness in Eberbach, in about 1180 is the first concrete evidence of the town's existence. As early as 1962, in a dig under the Hirschgangflügel at Bad Homburg's Schloss, two burnt layers were discovered, which the man conducting the dig, Gunther Binding, took as evidence of two former castles having been built on the site one after the other, but each having burnt down later. Further digs by the University of Frankfurt at Bad Homburg's Schloss in April 2006, once again initiated by Kurth and under Professor Henning's leadership, led to the discovery that it was actually only one burnt layer from a half-timbered building, possibly a castle with towers, which from ceramic finds could be dated to the 12th or 13th century. Most likely this building stood in connection with Wertwin's castle. Quite possibly, though, a further cultural layer from an even earlier time lies waiting to be discovered underneath these remains. Investigations using methods from natural science will show whether the dating can be made more precise. Homburg acquired market rights about 1330, but the document granting these rights is said to have been lost. The town's name, Homburg, comes from the Hohenberg castle. The postfix vor der Höhe was probably first recorded in a document in 1399. The Hessen-Homburg noble family of landgraves was founded with Friedrich I of Hessen-Homburg. Friedrich II attained fame as Prince of Homburg. In 1866, as a result of the Austro-Prussian War, Homburg became Prussian territory. Spa town and imperial residence. With the coming of the spa industry in the mid-19th century, which profited greatly from the casino built in town, the town changed into an internationally famous spa town. Bad Homburg was particularly favored by Russian nobility for its baths. The spa industry began with the discovery of the Elisabethenbrunnen in 1834. The first spa building and the first casino in Homburg were built in 1841 to 1842 by the brothers François and Louis Blanc, who later took over the casino in Monte Carlo, which is why the Homburg casino is sometimes called the Mother of Monte Carlo. In 1860, the town was connected with Frankfurt by a railway line, the Homburger Bahn. In 1888, Bad Homburg became known throughout the German Empire because Kaiser Wilhelm II declared Bad Homburg's Schloss an imperial summer residence, and later financed the building of the Church of the Redeemer close by. His mother, too, Empress Friedrich, the old emperor's widow, and Queen Victoria's eldest daughter, lived there for several years. Edward VII was also often a guest. It was he who introduced the Homburg hat and permanent turn-up trousers. He also underwent fasting cures at Homburg 32 times. The Bad Homburger Golf Club 1899 e.V. in the Roderwiesen in Dornholzhausen, nowadays part of Bad Homburg, is Germany's oldest golf club. It had its beginnings in the Bad Homburg Spa Park, where the old clubhouse and even playable parts of the old golf course may still be found. Not far away stands the Russian chapel, actually more properly called All Hallows Church, and Eastern Orthodox Church, whose first stone was laid in the Russian imperial couple's presence on the 16th of October 1896. Although they did not attend when it was consecrated almost 3 years later, King Chulalongkorn of Siam sent a Thai garden pavilion in gratitude for a successful cure. It was erected in 1914. Höhe was a well-known German motorcycle brand of the Höhe Fahrugbauag, founded in 1923 in Bad Homburg by Fritz Kleemann. Jewish history. In 1335, permission was given by Emperor Louis IV to Gottfried von Epstein to settle 10 Jews in each of the localities of Epstein, Homburg, and Steinheim. It is uncertain, however, whether any Jews settled in Homburg at the time. Evidence for the existence of a permanent Jewish settlement in Homburg is found only at the beginning of the 16th century. Up to 1600 it consisted of 2 or 3 families, and by 1632 these had increased to 16. The first Jewish cemetery was purchased in the 17th century. The community continued to grow so rapidly that in 1703 the Landgrave Frederick II of Hesse decided on the construction of a special Judengasse. A synagogue, built in 1731, was replaced by a new one in 1867. The Jewish community of Homburg was originally under the jurisdiction of the Rabbinate of Friedberg but began to appoint its own rabbis in the 19th century. A Hebrew printing house was run in Homburg by Seligman ben Herz Reis in 1710 until 1713, when he moved to Offenbach am Main. Among other items, he published Jacob ibn Abab sein Yaakov. Hebrew printing was resumed there in 1724 by Samson ben Sulman Hanau, but lack of capital limited his output. The press was acquired in 1736 by Aaron ben Evi Dessau, whose publications included the Schulen Aruch with commentary. The press was sold in 1748 and transferred in 1749 to Rodelheim. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Spa of Homburg became a meeting place of Russian Jewish intellectuals. The Jewish population numbered 604 in 1865, declining to 379 in 1910, and 300 in 1933. Of the 74 Jews who remained on the 17th of May 1939, 42 were deported in 1943. Modern age. While the spa business experienced a long-term decline in the wake of the 2 world wars, the town gained importance by becoming the site for headquarters of various authorities and administrative bodies. By autumn 1946, the military government had already ordered the founding of bizonal authorities. Bad Homburg was chosen as the seat of the financial administrative center. On the 23rd 23 July 1947, the Zone Economic Council instituted the Special Money and Credit Center here in preparation for currency reform. The center was headed by Ludwig Erhard. After the Federal Republic of Germany, West Germany, was founded with its capital in Bonn, the Federal Debt Administration, the Office for Security Adjustment and the Federal Equalization Office stayed in Bad Homburg. In the 20th century, Bad Homburg became a favorite residential area among the upper classes. On the 30th of November 1989, one of its members, Alfred Herrhausen, the head of the Deutsche Bank, was killed and his driver was injured by a car bomb in Bad Homburg. It was alleged that this was an attack by the Red Army faction, though this has never been conclusively proven. Coat of Arms. Bad Homburg's civic coat of arms was granted in 1903 but is said to date from the 15th century on the basis of seals known from that time, although they show a saltire rather than the two adze as seen today. The reason for the adzes in the arms is not known. It is possibly dialectal canting. The colors, with silver adzes in a blue field, have been in use at least since 1621. Schools: Kaiser and Friedrich Gymnasium, Humboldt-Schule, Gesamtschule am Gluckenstein, Maria Ward-Schule, Feldberg-Schule. People: Georg Anthys, opera singer, Shmuel Yosef Agnon, Nobel Prize-winning author, Louis Jacobi, Else Kroner, CEO of the Fresenius Company and founder of the Else Kroner Fresenius Foundation, Caroline Lotz, German-Hungarian painter, Johanna Quandt, major shareholder of Bayerische Motor and Worker AG, Heinz Schmidt, German officer, Karl Wilhelm von Meister, Keegan Gerhard, award-winning pastry chef, a former host of the Food Network series Food Network Challenge, Reinhard Genzel, German astronomer, partner towns. Bad Homburg is twinned with Chur, Switzerland, Dubrovnik, Croatia, Exeter, England, United Kingdom, Mariánske Lázně, Czech Republic. In 1953, the town adopted the ethnic Germans driven out of this town, later also partnership. Meyerhofen, Austria, Peterhof, Russia, Terracina, Italy, Mondorf les Bains, Luxembourg, Quai France.